Welcome back, everybody. We have Bernardicus returning to the show this week. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Has things cooled off any down there, or is it still hot as hell? And have you
It
gotten
is
any of that
still
rain that deluged
well.
Dallas the last couple of days?
Well, we did get some rain, some much needed rain the last 2 days, and it cooled things down about 10 degrees. But it's still pretty hot out here. Today it was 90 degrees. It was a little bit better than the plus 100 degrees that we've had all summer long, every day. I think it was only been like 3 or 4 days where it's been under 101 this entire summer here in Texas. So
That's
yeah.
pretty hot. That's
Oh
pretty hot.
yes. So I am pumped and ready for the fall. Ready to do some trick or treating and maybe
Just
go
around the
out
corner,
dress up and scare some
man.
people. Yes, sir.
Nice, nice. So during the pre-show, we're talking about this particular band that you're into. So I'll go ahead and let you have the floor here. Tell me something about the band and
Well, it's
some
two.
of the songs, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, yeah. It's two artists, new style artists I've been listening to recently. One, because I was in a death metal band, and I like this guy. He's really an MC artist, but he does like a scream style with his vocals while he's rapping. It's like more of a scream, and his name is Scar Lord, and I really been into music. Like one of the best songs I like is "How They Judge." It's a great song. You can go to YouTube, check it out. And another guy I've been listening to too is a guy named Tron, Tron. He's got a song called Capital, and it's a great song. It's just really easy listening to. You know what I mean? Music's good, the lyrics are
Yes.
good, the context is good. So, you know, it's just something enjoyable, something I picked up.
So how'd you get into these guys aside from being into that style of music? Like everybody has, finds a way of discovering a particular artist. So what was the genesis of that, or like what was your path to that?
I mean, actually, really, it was just by happenstance. I don't remember exactly, but I just happened to be like on YouTube and watching the video, and then like the Scarlord video was just there next, and it came on. And I listened to it and was like, "Wow, okay, yeah, this is excellent." So kept listening to it, and there grew more interest. And so yeah, really, really enjoy the Scarlord. That's love to see the guy live to see if how like in tune like his music is and live as far as from the studio recording. And
I'll tell you one thing about watching the band live, versus what you hear recorded. You can always tell how good that band is when they play live because
oh yes,
there's a lot of stuff
yes,
that you can hide in the studio when it comes to
exactly.
either your skill or your lack of skill, or
Yeah,
just your
yeah,
lack of being
basically.
tight. Especially
Right.
these days, because
Oh
they
yeah,
go through and put it in digital format. They can move notes around with the click of a mouse and everything, and make you sound
exactly.
great. But can you
Singers have that
can,
auto tune capability now,
yes, yes,
where they
but
can
can you
just
reproduce
yeah.
that live?
So I mean, it's good and it's bad. Because with all technology, there's good and bad. There's good things, and then there's people that are gonna abuse it, and so, but
You
you
know, one
know,
thing I've always enjoyed too, and this is with good bands, and pick a genre because any band, well, I guess any band in any genre that's a tight band, of course you got your studio version, but if
hmm
you got like a good live version where you just
yes,
kind of
yeah,
extrapolate. That's why I really love to go out and see live music. One, because I want to see if they can reproduce what they did in the studio, but two,
exactly,
also want to see that
yeah,
live version too. See what else they throw in there, or
right,
at least in terms of artistically speaking, because sometimes you got to cut a song down. Just in terms of if you're trying to get airplay or this or that, but
hmm
yeah, you might have that live version that that's all tricked out, and so. If it's a good band, me personally, that's what I totally like to go out and see that.
right on. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to go out and enjoy some live music. So much has been going on, and like you mentioned earlier, it's been so hot. I've been going out doing spoken word, but that's about it. As far as outdoor ventures lately. Just
Right.
going to the park when
Have
it
you done
gets
any
cool.
like any spoken word recently?
I'm sorry.
Have you done any spoken word recently?
Yeah, I did some spoken word at this place we have here in Austin called it's called the Hostel, and it's a
Hmm.
hostel where you can go rent rooms, but it also has every Tuesday night they have spoken word, and then every other Tuesday they have slam poetry where uh, it's three different rounds. They compete for number one, number two, and number three. It's pretty fun. It's pretty entertaining. And I did that last Tuesday, and I'm looking to do that later today because today is Tuesday. So around like 7:30 our time, start preparing myself, and yeah, hopefully I'll win the poetry slam tonight.
That's cool. Slam is actually where hip hop has its roots at, and this is something that I learned from my uncle. I did an interview with him about a year and a half ago. He's a well-known jazz musician, Archie Shepp, and
Okay.
that's something we talked about in our interview. Was the roots of hip hop. Going back to slam, what they were doing back in the late '60s, early '70s, and then that eventually evolved into what became hip hop in New York, and then
Hmm.
took off across the world.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, hip hop is like probably the largest, most popular music genre out there. It has surpassed, I think, like rock and roll in popularity in a lot of ways. And even the
Hmm.
concerts, it's like because it attracted so many different demographics and people from all different ethnicities and everywhere. You know, so yeah,
I
yeah.
remember the. I'm going to go a bit off topic here, but it's still on the music front. I remember the first time I saw my first live hip hop act, and
Hmm.
it was in Washington D.C. I think I was a junior in high school. I had been like in the D.C. area maybe a year, a little longer. But Public Enemy came and performed. And I think they performed down at Howard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you what, man. I mean, like before that, I'd seen like a bunch of different shows, like rock shows and this and that. But this was my first hip hop show, and
Hmm.
I gotta tell you what, man. I mean, it's just like they had the S1Ws out there. They had Terminator X. I mean, it was a great
Nice.
freaking show, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Let me see. I want to say 89, 90.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely back in the days in his
Yeah,
prime
that's about 32
era.
years ago. I know I'm aging myself here, folks, but it's okay.
It
Yeah, but
happens.
some, I mean, but I've seen some great rock, rock acts out there. Because back then, Grateful Dead was still touring, so I saw
Yeah.
them at RFK. Some of the other bands, I've had a chance to see like over the years. I've seen Metallica, a bunch of times, and then I used to always go to the Ozfest too. And that's a big old
Okay.
traveling festival
Yeah.
he did. And I mean, he would just have so many different bands. And I got the chance to see so many metal bands. I got to see Sabbath a bunch of times.
Nice.
Slipknot, just a good time, man. I did those probably for about 4 or 5 years in a row. And then
Oh,
kind of
nice.
evolve into other things and different
Yeah.
careers and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, I love live music, and then even later on in my restaurant career, if I came out of it altogether a few years ago, I was working at this place just outside of Woodbridge. I guess it was considered an Aquaquan bar, but it was 100 yards inside of Woodbridge. It's called the Electric
Hmm.
Palm, and it's down there on the Prince William Marina. And we used to have live music down there all the time. And for a while there, they were allowing me to bring some bands in, so I booked some bands. A couple times. I even bought a Matt Stillwell one time too. And he's a country band, type guy, but top 40, whatever. And I'm actually going to display that picture right now. Yeah, that was back in, I guess about 16, 17 or whatever. But yeah, man, I love some music, man. I can talk
Of
music
course.
all day long,
Of
as you
course.
can see.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Music has a special place. I mean, it's up there. Yeah.
yeah,
It's very sacred and magical.
yeah.
So yeah.
And then a couple weeks ago, I recorded a show for some friends of mine. It was the remnants of the Shenanigans. You know, they were a big ska band. You know, back in the late '90s here in Fairfax, whatever. So it was part of that band and then part of a different band, and they're called Scaramanga now. And so you know they're kind of doing this. Versus doing third wave ska. You know, they're kind of going back to ska's roots, back what they were doing in Jamaica and
Okay.
and Britain back in the '60s. And so you know, it's a lot more groove, still a lot more slowed down. But you know, it's cool because I mean, you know, you've got older guys and a woman in there who's their keyboard player now, reinventing themselves. So you know, that's cool.
All right, on.
So
Yeah.
yep.
There you go.
Anyway, so any other bands that you're into that you want to talk about, or
Lately, not really. I haven't been listening
yeah,
to a whole lot of new bands.
right,
You know, mostly just the same old music. You know, been very
right,
busy. You know, trying to get you know, my poems copywritten so I can get my first book out, and you know, just still dealing with you know basic things in life.
right. As you know, life happens. I mean, like it really does. You know, I had today, and you know, this popped up on my news feed, and I'm not going to put her name out there, but we had. I used to work with her sister years ago, and then you know she
Hmm.
tried to. Well, you know, she's like, "Hey, my sister's single," and so you know we went out on a date. Nothing ever came of it, whatever. You know, we were just you know way too different, but you know we stay friends on Facebook, whatever. But you know, she had you know put out there that she had check herself into rehab or thinking about doing it. So you know, I messaged her before, but. You know, like I would never hear like anything back from her, but you know, today,
You're
you
right.
know, I was like, well, let me message her and be like, hey, you know, like I heard that you need to get, you know, get yourself some help, and well, she responded back, you know, thank you very much, and you know, for those
Okay.
people out there who are, you know, dealing with substances or I guess alcohol or whatever, and these aren't my words, but these words come from the late Stevie Ray Vaughan, and
Hmm.
I'm paraphrasing, and that is, sometime you got to come home from the party, and you know, life has taught me, and you know, just by people who I'm close to, it's either one of three things happen. It's either you figure it out on your own, because you know you start losing friends, family, you know, what have you.
Hmm.
The second way is you wind up getting entangled with Johnny Law in the criminal justice system, which will
Huh.
hopefully set you straight. But you know, who wants to go to court and take care of all the other stuff? And the
Yeah.
third way is you wind up in a pie and box. So you know, there's you know, if that's something that you're dealing with, go talk to somebody, go get some help, and I'll get off my soapbox when it comes to that.
There you go. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, experience, or at least somebody being there, like a parent or you know a fellow friend to inform you beforehand. Having to you know to
Right.
take advantage of that. But definitely have to agree with you on that.
So